Thanks for joining us, Vinyl Compadres. We here at the Vinyl Brotherhood have been having an amazing Christmas season, and we hope you guys have as well. Sometimes it feels like that Christmas music well dries up a little bit, but no worries. We're going to check out a relatively recent Christmas album today, and that album is the Molly Burch Christmas album. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to dive right into it here in a second. I'm something of a Christmas music aficionado, so when the fall months start to roll by and the new Christmas releases come out, I like to pick them up and give them a listen. And this is one of my favorites from last year. And I know we covered Molly Burch's most recent record, Romantic Images, on this channel a couple months ago, so I thought it'd be nice to see what her Christmas offering sounded like. And it is a fun record. We've got a very strong variety here, including some Christmas classics, a couple of more contemporary hits, and even some original tracks. And so let's take this over to the record player and give it a listen.
It's the holiday season, it's the season of believing, and I'm dreaming for this reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love this album cover. Is the nostalgia hitting you yet? Yeah, this reminds me of the Vince Guaraldi Trio, Charlie Brown Christmas. This is just a lot of fun, you know? Here's a track listing. Molly Burch has returned to us with her band, including legendary mainstay guitarist Daley Tolliver, whose name sounds like it should be Bailey Oliver, but that is not relevant information here. Let's go through the track listing, starting with the covers, and then I'll circle back to the two Molly Burch originals. The album starts with Ella Fitzgerald's The Secret of Christmas, and this is a beautiful rendition of it. Great vocal performance by Molly Burch, accompanied by a beautiful harp in the background. It really sounds like the perfect Christmas Eve lullaby as you drift off to sleep and listen for reindeers click-clacking on the rooftop. Reindeer, I guess would be the plural, I don't know. It's followed by Hard Candy Christmas by Dolly Parton from the musical, I think, Little Whorehouse in Texas, something or other, and Snow Queen of Texas by the Mamas and Papas. And I love these songs, two of my favorites on the record. They have sort of the kind of the alt country vibe, and they really are perfect for, you know, a Texan road trip as you drive home for Christmas and look forward to that Christmas dinner. That's not what the songs are about, but that is kind of the imagery that the songs kind of bring to mind. Moving right along, we have Last Christmas, a song that many love and many love to hate. This version, like most of them, is a little repetitive, but not every version of the song is made equal. And I have to say, this is definitely one of the better ones. Still very melodically rich. I love the pop backbeat. I love the fun, quirky instrumental, especially as it gets kind of like funky and detuned towards the end. And Molly does a great job at this. But I will point out that there is kind of a weird comedic spoken word segment throughout. And I found it a little distracting and obnoxious, but a little pointer. The single version of this song actually comes with an alternate that does not include the spoken word element. So if you're like me, you'll switch them out in iTunes, and yeah, no disrespect, but that's just kind of what I did, whatever. We get I'll Be Home for Christmas, your traditional holiday standard. Great song, great performance. To be perfectly honest, it didn't really stand out all that much to me as far as your Christmas carols or your contemporary Christmas songs go. This is pretty much what you'd expect, and I really don't have all that much to say about it. The Coldest Night of the Year, a duet featuring Jesse Woods, is a highlight on this record. It definitely has kind of the soft 70s pop retro vibe. There's a lot of personality injected into their vocal performance, and it's plenty of fun. Give it a listen. What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas, a song that was made famous by The Elements, is another highlight on this record, one that definitely belongs on the playlist. And it's interesting because it sort of hints at a sound that Molly explores a bit further on her next record, Romantic Images, as she delves into more of a dance and R&B sort of sound. It does begin with a very cute little guitar callback to Jingle Bells. But yeah, for the most part, it's got like a cool, relaxed, soulful beat to it, and definitely one of my favorite songs on the record. Moving right along, we have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which utilizes one of my biggest musical pet peeves, which is the inclusion of a children's choir. But in this instance, I really think it is put to great use. Definitely one of the best ways to use a children's choir. So what Molly does is she actually invites them to join in on her performance, and it's very loose, very kind of sounding very impromptu. The kids are adorable, they're having fun. It's even like a little like sloppy, just loaded with charm, plenty of charm, great version of a great song. And yeah, props to Molly for making what I consider a pet peeve actually work. Happy New Year by ABBA is featured on this record. Bjorn and Benny are great songwriters, and Molly definitely does this song justice. Kind of gives it a very fresh, original spin, but you know, it still feels very faithful. And which brings me to my next point, that I'm not a huge fan of the inclusion of New Year songs on Christmas records. Maybe I'm just weird, but it sort of feels like I'm jumping the gun, or like I'm cheating if I listen to it before December 26th. But you know, I'm not going to count that against Molly. Maybe I'm just weird. But the album closes on Auld Lang Syne, another New Year's song. And if you didn't get the impression that this album was meant to be the soundtrack to your Christmas get-together at this point, then you definitely will, because the album closes on exactly that. A bunch of people, you know, laughing, enjoying each other's company, you know, cheering Molly on as she closes out the song. It's plenty of fun, very, very charming. So as I said, we're going to go back and talk about the two original songs, including New Year Love. It's kind of your classic Molly Burch acoustic ballad, featuring a very soulful and lovelorn Molly Burch. You know, it's very moody. It's a great vocal. Not necessarily my favorite song on the record, but it's always nice to include, you know, some original songs in the bunch on a collection such as this one. And then Holiday Dreamin'. This is my favorite song on the record. It's gonna go on all my Christmas playlists from here on out. It's just, you know, your classic indie pop vibe, great guitar work. It's a fun beat, a good Christmas jam with, you know, good performance by Molly and plenty of solid Christmas imagery to kind of give you those happy Christmas vibes, and you know, just a good aesthetic. So I think that's pretty much every song on this record. To talk about the record as a whole, I think it definitely works. Feels very cohesive. It's a fairly quick listen, and yeah, I think it might be a mainstay for me for a while. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna be in the rotation, and I definitely recommend it. So that's more or less all I have. I'm gonna send you on your way, but we're gonna head back to the couch and wrap this up. If you'd like to shake things up a little bit this year and add something fresh to your Christmas music rotation, then I can't recommend the Molly Burch Christmas album enough. It was a great addition to my Christmas music playlist last year, and I'm very sure it will be for yours as well. As far as Molly Burch albums go, it is quite good. It really is sort of just like the Christmas version of everything she's done in the past, while hinting at what's ahead in her musical trajectory. So I definitely recommend it. I think it's a solid 7.5. It's quite good. So don't forget to check it out. And of course, check back in, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think that's about all we have for today. So until then, be safe, stay warm, and have yourself a very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you here next time on the Vinyl Brotherhood.